Good evening. I'm Charles Payne. Breaking news. We are awaiting President-elect Donald Trump to take the stage for the first leg of his thank you tour. It starts off in Cincinnati. Trump, he's expected to address his supporters at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to cover every angle of it right here on Fox Business. Trump, of course, won the state of Ohio decisively over Hillary Clinton. He's also going to be joined by Vice President-elect Mike Pence. Let's remember the Rust Belt and the Heartland. They were forgotten by Washington, D.C. elites, but not by Trump. This is a form of gratitude between the candidate and the voters, and it's going to be on full display tonight. Joining me to discuss now, Adam Goodman, Steve Rogers, and Kelly Riddell. Kelly, let me start with you. I think it's a brilliant sort of post-election whistle-stop tour, old school. Thank you to people who have been neglected for decades by the elites on both coasts.
Yes, and this is what the new Republican Party looks like. Donald Trump is defining it with his populism, his reaching out to the middle class, the working class, the voter out there who's been, quite frankly, ignored by Washington, D.C. So this is getting back to the roots of things. I mean, it was an unbelievable display today, seeing him go back to Carrier and him and Vice President-elect Mike Pence and delivering on those jobs that he promised. He's already done more before he's even in the White House than President Barack Obama's done in 8 years. I mean, what a great economic accomplishment this was as a president-elect.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to discuss that more, whether or not he's creating a sustainable template. But in the meantime, Steve Rogers, I got to tell you, throughout the election, it was one man who came on this show zillion years before everyone jumped on the train, the Trump train, before it became cool, when he was the least popular person in the Republican Party. And you said he is touching something. You saw something amongst regular folks in New Jersey and other parts of this country, no one else since, but you saw it early.
Charles, he touched the heart of the American people, and I just love the way Kelly just described it, the new Republican Party, and now we're going to have a new America. He's bringing back the core values of this country: duty, honor, country, God, America. These are the things that people love, and that's what he teaches in the heart, what he actually touched in the heart of the American people. Would you admit he was an unlikely messenger for those things? Well, you know what? He was the likely messenger. You see, the pundit said he was unlikely, but the American people, he spoke their language. He was on Main Street, not on Wall Street. He was in middle-class America, and even in minority communities there. A lot of people gravitated towards him because he had the message. And the message was, let's bring respect back and strength back and courage back to the United States of America.
Adam Goodman, first of all, it's good to have you face-to-face after coming on the show for a couple of years via remote. You're a GOP strategist, one of the top in the country. I mean, what you've witnessed, obviously, I'm sure you've had to go back in your own playbook and rewrite it, erase a few things and add a few things. This, I'm calling it a thank you / victory tour. And I think it's a way of both. I saw the crowds already. They're immense. A way of Donald Trump saying thank you and a way of these voters saying thank you.
But think of the campaign he just launched today. The campaign for president's over, but the campaign for America just began all over again. And he sent a very clear message that he's going to be a hands-on, active president that's going to go right at trying to put America back to work. Instead of exporting jobs, he wants to import opportunity. And if there's a label, you know me, Charles, I'm a big label guy, right? An ad guy, right? I think you're looking at the beginning of the now president. He wants to get things done right now. There'll be an impatience to what he's doing. He's going to drive not just for one carrier story, but 100 carrier stories as quickly as he can.
Right.
He's not waiting for the formalities of an inauguration to start off the bat. That's what America has been waiting for, a shot in the arm, and they're getting
We can
just
also
that.
see the way he's putting his cabinet together. It's a solutions, now to your point, a now cabinet to go along with the now president. I want to, in fact, take the audience out to Cincinnati. Fox Business correspondent Blake Berman, he's at the site for the event. Blake, help us feel the electricity there.
Hi there, Charles. Yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio. This almost feels like a campaign type event, even after the election. But I want to show you one of the differences. Take a look at the sign there. It says USA Thank You Tour 2016. This is indeed the president-elect's thank you tour. So a little bit different here, but you can see all the folks in the stands. They're wearing their Trump hats, bringing their Trump gear and the like. Many of the folks that we had talked to here are supporters. Sorry, we're going to dip in for a live interview here, if you don't mind. Linda and Alex, we've been talking with them.
Yes.
You're a Trump supporter.
Yes, I am.
You felt the need to come out here. Why?
Well, I wanted to be here to support Trump in his post-election celebration, I guess would be a way to say it.
What do you make of him setting something up like this after the election?
I think it's great. I I like the fact that he's thinking outside of the box and he's not afraid of doing something that hasn't been done before.
You brought your 13-year-old grandson, which means not only couldn't you vote in this election, you can't vote in 2020. But what do you want to hear out of the president-elect tonight?
Well, I just want to hear that it's pretty cool that he's doing a thank you tour after the election. And I just kind of want to hear how much work he's been putting in on everything.
Got it. Thanks, guys. Charles, as you see from these two wearing their Trump hats, their Trump gear, Trump supporter, even after the election, they are out here to see the president-elect sometime in the next hour. Charles, back to you.
Blake, it looks like you're going to have a lot of fun out there. Grab me a hat if you can, okay? Hey, I want to go back to the panel. Kelly, we just heard it from them. Mrs. Ewing saying, hey, he thinks outside of the box. Yeah. He's not afraid. And then you have this kid who's a future voter saying that pretty cool. I mean, these aren't necessarily associated with presidents, and certainly not the current president. Not trying to diss Barack Obama, but he was always cautious. He was always tepid, if you will, with so many things, and some would even say feckless. And I think America does want a certain boldness.
Yeah, they want a certain boldness. They want to win again. And Donald Trump, with Carrier, with Ford Motor Companies, he's showing America that we can win again. Just today, in his first press announcement since winning the White House, he said, you know what? A lot of people don't think it's very presidential of me to call a CEO of a company and negotiate one-on-one. But listen, this is the type of president that I am. And this is the type of the president that, all of these Americans, 60 million Americans voted for. They want somebody who is a businessman, who is a leader, who has dreamed big, accomplished his dreams, was an inspirational story. They want that for their lives. And right now, Donald Trump is on a major winning streak.
There's our very own Sean Hannity in the crowd there. Let me ask you, Steve, this Donald Trump movement, it's a singular movement. Do you feel it can actually, perhaps over the next 4 years, become a permanent part of the fabric of the GOP, even the political landscape? Because obviously the Democrats have been totally blindsided and ignorant to the fact that they're just tone deaf. They're going in the wrong direction still.
Charles, November 8th was the beginning of the change of this country. Every state house across this country is going to see a lot of changes. And let me add one thing, and you mentioned that young man. Donald Trump showed young people in this campaign that they count and that they should be proud of their country, be proud of the United States of America, and thank God you're here. And that's the message that's going to sweep across this land and change the GOP and change America.
Adam, a lot different than the apology tour 8 years ago, huh?
Oh my gosh, what a world of difference! But he sent another message out today, which is we're going to do tax reform and regulatory reform, and we're going to get the jobs back, and there'll be no reason for a company to leave America with jobs again. That was a warning shot to every CEO in America that says you better have a darn good reason why you're not keeping jobs here, because as much as you want to profit from America, you need to invest in America. Right, and I think that was the message today.
And listen, the progressives and even some conservatives had some criticism, and that we'll talk about it later on in the show. Guys, thank you very much. I do have a programming note for you. Lou Dobbs, he's going to be live tonight for a 2-hour special. It's going to take you from 7 to 9 p.m. Extended coverage of the Trump Thank You Tour. Again, that's tonight starting at 7 p.m. right here on Fox Business. Also, more breaking news for you from Starbucks. Howard Schultz has announced he's going